This is Lin Wood's Telegram, okay? By the way, I think I can pick a different background, but they didn't give me that option. Do I have a Telegram account? Yes, I do. Am I going to tell you what it is? No, I don't. No, I will not, because I am, it is my under-the-radar account that I use to look at all these lunatics to keep an eye on them. And he has these little fireside chats, which I thought would be full videos, but they are not. So I had to go on and download these videos of this lunatic. And we've all been talking about how he's straight up, yeah, there he is, 511 Myrtle Beach. That he's in many ways trying to become the QAnon Elvis, right? And it's gotten worse. I don't know the order of these. I apologize, because he cut them up and put them in little chunks. And so I'm going to show some of these. And then we've got an interview with that Eric Metaxas dude and Mike Lindell to look at, where Mike is just, he's, bless his heart, I hope he's not using again, because man alive, it's ridiculous. He's doing that like weird tongue jut all the time, and he's rocking back and forth. It's creepy. All of these things. Oh, right on. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. By the way, don't forget to hit the super chats and use the Venmo if you feel like it, or support the show in any way you can. Become a patron. Patreon.com/HalSparks. Also, tickets are on sale for the Rush Tick show this Friday. This very well may be my last streaming live show from home. Afterwards is a Q&A, and then there's a VIP meet and grope digitally afterwards, kind of like the Sexy Liberal thing. So there we go. And then let me see if these, I'm going to turn the alert box down and see if that affects me at all, or just you guys. There we go. All right. So let's check out pieces of this.
Donald J. Trump has never considered.
Hold on. I want to make sure that sound is getting to you guys. And it's not too loud.
Because he won the election, so be cool. It's all going to be good in time. Donald J. Trump is still the guy the military will call for the code if they need a first strike.
Donald Trump is still president, and he's got the codes for the football, and they're going to have to call him if they need to issue a first strike. Now, who thinks Donald Trump knows his own phone number? Who among any, seriously, who thinks Donald Trump knows his own social security number? How many digits are in this code? I'm a little low, or they're a little low. I'm trying to gack this up a little bit. Let me see if I can bring up the volume a touch. I think that's maxed out where I am, because I don't want to spike it there, but it should be all right. Hopefully it's okay, sound-wise. I want to keep it in that warm, lovely area where it's not too bad. Let me see if I can bring this up on my end, if I brought mine down at all. Hey, there. Hey, buddy. Nope, that's as loud as that one gets. Okay, so, okay. Well, fingers crossed. Should be all right. Maybe, here, I'll pump the gain a little bit, see if that helps. See if the audio is okay. Boink. How about that? That's a little better. There we go. And I don't want to get up into the red, as you guys see, because then I get excited, and then I peak the thing, and then it sounds awful. Okay, here we go. That should be better. All right, and we'll bring him down a little bit. Listen to this asshole again. Listen to this.
They will call for the code if they need a first strike. Joe Biden.
Do you hear that? That's right. There's this lady in the back who's like, honest to God. Think about, I mean, it's one thing to think, yay, thank you. It's one thing to think this dipshit believes Trump really won and Biden shouldn't have been inaugurated. But this straight-on dude thinks, no, I did not say Friday's my last day of live streaming. No, not by any means. We are soldiering ahead.
Joe Biden is not the president of the United States.
Joe Biden is not the president of the United States, according to Lin Wood, who is, by the way, in case you are new to this whole thing, Lin Wood was on the president's team, the former president's team, on Trump's team. He was removed because he was a lunatic. He still, was fighting the good fight, and now he's touring around the country in the same 5 shirts. You can't hear him?
Whoever he is, whoever's going on.
Listen, I need to hear. Oh, I'm clipping on your end. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm trying to find the sweet spot for you guys. I'll bring it down just a touch. There we go. Hopefully that'll do it. Should be in a nice zone, I think. Right? Yeah. No. Hey, if I try to make some noise. Okay, here we go. That should be all right. Now we go. All right. That said, he's going to get a question from the audience.
Stop it. This is driving me crazy.
Stop it. This is driving me crazy. Tell me when he is going to be. Has it true? I've been approached by one of the news networks. I'm in constant approach by some news networks. But I'm not interested in changing my life permanently in a way where I can't tour and do stand up and act and all that kind of stuff. So this is more of an upside. If somebody, offers me a situation where I could put my kid through college with 1 day's work on a major network, then we're talking. But short of that. If Trump is still president, why doesn't he do something? By the way, it's not you. The audio on this is very fuzzy.
I think they could have fixed this election in a month.
Right.
I think they could have fixed this election in a month. Has The View ever called you? That's great. I've actually been on The View. I co-hosted The View with Joe Scarborough.
We would have gone right back into the same swamp and the same mess, and nothing would have really been fixed.
Nothing would have been fixed if Trump was still president. I'm sorry. I thought the sun shined out of this dude's ass.
So remember that this isn't about Trump, and this isn't about the flesh. This is about God. This is
not about Trump. This is not about the flex. I don't know what he said. This is about God.
Powers and principalities. God's getting ready to clean up this world, and He's got a lot of...
God is getting ready to clean up this world. Think about that for a second. I'll get way more of my time than TYT. Well, thank you. I'm glad I've earned it. Because I got to say, I'm not... those guys... I mean, it's bad enough they birthed Jimmy Dore. That's just some awful stuff. Yeah, but God is about to clean up this earth, man. These are the end times. You know how I know it's the end times? Because shit's happening and I'm alive. And my ego tells me that Jesus would wait until I was on earth to come back.
Nothing to do in America. So you don't want Trump to come back yet.
You don't want Trump to come back yet. You want God to be able to clean up shit first. You don't think heaven is any different than Trump Tower, right? Trump doesn't clean up his own messes. All right, praise Jesus.
Some things are going to happen. He's going to enjoy it when the bad stuff happens. He goes, whoa, how do you like that Biden administration? It's not going to be under Trump's watch, but Trump is watching.
It's not under Trump's watch, but Trump is watching. So here's what God wanted. God didn't want, he's got to do some awful shit. He's got to, flood some people and murder people and wipe people out in mass and, locusts and shit like that. God stuff. And he's got to do it. I mean, he's got to do it. There's so much evil in the world. God doesn't have the power to just make just the bad people drop dead. No, he's got to wipe out a whole city and, to get 13 of them who are roaming around. I mean, he's God. He's not like he's all powerful. I mean, lightning is pretty sloppy. It's really hard to hit your target, So God's up there and he's like, oh, I got to do all this. I got to flood the whole place again. I got to set houses on fire and burn children alive and stuff. And if I do it when Trump is president, people are going to blame Trump. So this is the theory you're hearing right now. Okay? Holy shit. And so God, just let the election fraud happen so that Trump would be out of office temporarily so that he could do some terrible shit. And people, the faithful, I guess, people who believe in God and believe this is the working of God would blame Joe Biden rather than Trump and then something else. Holy hell.
My own personal belief is that he signed the Insurrection Act. Nobody knows it.
Okay, so Trump signed the Insurrection Act, according to Lin Wood.
I'll tell anybody. I think the military is prepared to act if we have a foreign threat or an internal threat that can't be handled by the police and the National Guard. And we're going to allow there to be what appears to be continuity of government.
We're going to, oh man. We're going to allow for what appears to be the continuity of government. Who's we, dipshit?
About some things where you're learning about what you're good at.
This is Lin Wood. And oh, look at that. They got a thin blue line flag in case a cop shows up and they have to gouge his eye out with it. And by the way, he's just talking to a ladies group with a couple of dudes. What the hell is that? By the way, that's the lady that was asking the question, like, when's he gonna do something? I know he's still president. When's he gonna do something? This was this was yesterday. This was last night. It's so true. So let me catch you up in case you're just joining us. According to Lin Wood, the Army, NORAD, has to get Trump on the phone because he's the one with the nuclear codes. And if they need to launch your first strike, they're going to have to call him. If he's on the green, it'll have to wait.
It's been generations of people worshiping the devil. They hide it. And they hide these children.
Oh, this is where he's going into they're baby eaters and all that kind of stuff. So this is the big angle of his whole work.
What were the explosions in the tunnels in Washington, D.C.? Why did I have a man whose wife worked for the Trump administration? When I went up to the Museum of the Bible, the person I went over and had breakfast with him, and they lived several blocks down from the Capitol, and we were driving.
It's a great story, bro.
At the museum, he looked at me and said, Lin, when the last explosions ended, it was like a veil of evil had been lifted from this city. Do you know what they were doing in those tunnels?
Do you know what they were doing in those tunnels when the last explosions okay, folks, I haven't bothered to look up these pictures because I don't need them, but there were the stands that they built for the inauguration stuff. They took some gallows, I think that were from Lebanon or something, and photoshopped them over that. And then people were photoshopping children being like small people, like it was a long away shot, so there's no detail in it. But the idea was that they found these children in the basement, and on the 20th they were marching them out. And here's what I don't understand. See if you guys can follow me on this, because I am fucking confused. So the gallows were happening, and supposedly that was when they were saying Biden and Hillary have already been hung, and Pelosi was already hung, and they've got I guess pre-aged clones in their places. Like, that's a bunch of Q stuff anyways. But the one part that really stuck with me in this, and this is what he's talking about. Did you know what they were doing to the children in those caves below the White House? Under the White House. That supposedly, when Trump left they marched all these kids out and saved all these kids that were in the tunnels. So let me get this straight. The entire time Trump was president, there were children being sexually assaulted and consumed as food under the White House. Never before have we ever seen in any circumstance any children being marched out in a line out of the White House. Ever. Not ever. But not after Obama leaves office and, oh my God, Trump moved in and he found all these kids and we had to get them out. The only time there's ever been, according to these folks, and obviously it's Photoshop bullshit, but that's not the point. The point is these folks think that when Trump left office, when he left, they escorted rescued children. When Trump was no longer president, which seems to say that the only person who had children trapped in the tunnels under the White House in the history of the White House was Donald John Trump. What the fuck is this? What are you saying? When spread to bright, do you understand what is, does anyone, am I losing my mind? Am I completely bonkers about this? If they were like, oh my God, did you see the pictures of them getting the children out of there on the day Trump was inaugurated? I would almost think like, okay, it's still bullshit Photoshop nonsense, but at least they're making the case, right? But what we're finding out now is that these children were apparently rescued once Trump was no longer president. What? What?
There's tunnels in Charleston. There are tunnels all over the world.
There's tunnels in Charleston. There's tunnels all over the world. Yeah. There's coal mines. There's caves. There's road tunnels and access tunnels and subway tunnels. What's your point?
Look up adrenochrome.
Look up adrenochrome. Yeah, you know what you'll find out? That it can be synthesized in a lab. It's not even expensive. It's not even difficult to make. You synthesize adrenaline from cells you already have and you can make it and then you oxidize it. Adrenochrome is oxidized adrenaline. There's nothing fucking special about it. It's that you don't need this idea that you have to have hang kids upside down like kosher cows to get adrenochrome is just fucking dumb. If you're gonna make up a substance, at least have it be something that is so magically unavailable that somebody can go, oh yeah, we can make that in my garage. Do you need a kid? No, I don't need a kid. Good God. Wait, I scooped out my kid's brains for nothing? Yeah, you did. Sorry. Womp womp.
Do the research. When they tell you you're a flawed messenger because you're a QAnon conspiracy theorist, they don't want you to look at the message. The message of Q, I believe, from my research, is truth.
Yeah, but that's because you're a sap. Why are you pointing at me?
Donald J. Trump has never conceded, has he?
Yes, he did.
Won the election, so be cool. It's all going to be good in time. Donald J. Trump is still the guy the military will call for the code.
Okay, it started back at the top of this thing. Whatever. Jesus Christ. Let's here. I'll grab this dude, and he's touring around with this shit. Look at, they've got a little banner that they put on his desk. I mean, he's been to Staples. He's got his game, he's got his A game as far as his signage going around. They're dressing up the ladies auxiliary. And by the way, golf association's ballroom for their Lin Wood visits, as he's, he did tap my shoulder. It's creepy. He's got his blue line flag. He probably brought that with him. And then this little Lin Wood sign, which is that's his thumbnail on a bunch of his shit. His Lin, We the People since 1776. Win with Lin. Oh, God.
They need a person.
So, hold on. No, this video. Sorry.
I know that you have facing you a number of pressing issues.
Uh-huh. And I've got some snake oil that if you rub it on your liniment parts. By the way, who among you believes that if adrenochrome was really a thing, every one of those women at this thing would go, I don't know, were they good children or bad children?
I know that Horry County has a problem with child sex trafficking.
It does? I mean, okay, for the record, I have a problem with it. I don't like it. I think they're amongst the worst humans in the world. But that doesn't mean it's rampant. Thanks, Robert. Maybe they believe that's what happened to their own brains since they seem to be missing them. Yeah, someone ate Lin Wood's brains years ago.
As do other cities in South Carolina.
Why South Carolina? And why is it all of a sudden a problem in South Carolina when you moved there? By the way, he lives in South Carolina. He voted in Georgia. Yeah. Yeah.
Two cities in Georgia as to
Thanks for the subscription. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you for the super chat, Robert.
Around the country and cities around the world. I have said very clearly that I believe that child sex trafficking is the real pandemic in our country and in our world. And I want to do something about it.
Yeah, it's not, asshole. You know why? Because child sex trafficking isn't contagious. I mean, that analogy is just dumb anyways. It's his way of disappearing the thing. Oh, did I lose my stream? What happened? I need to check on this thing. What's up? Did I go away? What happened? Reload. Make sure I'm all right. Okay, good. All right. My screen went to black over there, and I was like, wait a minute. Restream blacked out on me for a second.
I know that you also have issues regarding gaming. There's an effort to bring gambling to Horry County.
Oh, wait a minute. Child sex trafficking is one thing, but gambling? Next thing you know, they're going to have a lottery. What the hell? Dude, you got to kind of build up to it. You got to build your sin pile. You got to, I understand that, you got a lot of children here who are born out of wedlock, and that's a breakdown of the family, of course. And I know these folks want to bring gambling in here, which is always a way to drive, like P.S., also, there are tunnels under your city where they are eating children. What the fuck?
And I suspect that y'all have looked into Atlantic City, and I doubt that you want to see Myrtle Beach become another Atlantic City.
Yeah, nobody wants a Trump Tower in their gambling. You don't want Myrtle Beach to become another Atlantic City? You mean with all its tourism and money? What? He means there's a lot of black people there. Thank you, Diana. My husband is now calling you a communist. Why? Because you finally made him share in the dishes?
I know there's been discussions I've heard about bringing I-73, and somebody asked, well, what's the reason for I-73? And they said, it'll help us with the evacuations during hurricanes. We have hurricanes here, and we can evacuate Myrtle Beach. I said,
yeah, they want to extend I-73 down here. That'll help us evacuate during hurricanes, but what it's really for is bringing in baby parts and gambling chips.
Okay.
What do you think the Qs would hear if they played Paul Simon's song Kodachrome backwards?
Hurricanes and evacuations. How many evacuations have you had in the last 20 years? They said, well,
they're getting worse, and it's all right.
One. I said, how did it go? They said, well, it was fine. I said, why are you going to fix it if it's not broken? And then they said, well, it'll help with alleviate traffic congestion. Now, from 1979, when I I moved up from Macon, Georgia to Atlanta.
This is going to be a good story, I can tell.
Until I officially left Atlanta in January of this year.
Okay, everybody writing this down. January of this year, left Atlanta, where he wasn't actually living, and he voted, even though he lives like 10 miles from where he's speaking right now, which isn't. Yeah, you're right. That's a crime.
2021, I watched one interstate after another interstate after another interstates around the city, widening every interstate. It seemed like they never stopped working on interstates.
Obviously, it's a plot. It's not that because you're an old son of a bitch and you've been alive a long time, more people and more people and more people have gotten and can afford cars. And therefore, and you're in a place like South Carolina where they eschew public transport. So, rather widen the roads so we can pull over poor people rather than provide buses and trains and yeah.
If you haven't been to Atlanta lately, watch out because the traffic is awful. You don't even want to drive.
Yeah, the traffic would be so much better if they just hadn't widened the freeways. Was Trump going to make this asshole Secretary of Solutions? What the fuck are you talking about? They keep widening the freeways and the traffic is awful. Maybe if we just made them thinner, maybe traffic would be better if we just made the roads so thin no cars could fit down them at all. What?
I would drive from my home in Buckhead down to my office in Midtown. Interstates do not.
By the way, Buckhead is a really cool area in the Atlanta area. It's where the Dixie Chicks, who are now just the Chicks, have their ice cream store. And there's a store in Buckhead called Junkman's Daughter, and I go there every time I'm in Atlanta. And it's like this really eclectic store that sells it's like a comic book store without comics. They sell weird T-shirts and knickknacks and bric-a-brac and silliness, and you can get like a spatula shaped like a guitar and, you know, novelty gifts and stuff. It's really awesome. But it's called Junkman's Daughter. If you're ever there, he said Buckhead. It's only fuckhead when he's there.
Alleviate traffic congestion. Interstates cause traffic congestion.
There we go. Solution. Why has no one, finally, someone who speaks the truth? Interstates cause congestion. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. We paid to see this? When is Trump gonna be president again? Son of a bitch. Interstates. Who the fuck brought this guy? Angela, is he one of your guests? God damn, this dude is dumb. I want my money back too. You can't. This is part of your membership. Son of a bitch.
So, while I would not
Is he gonna sing some Elvis songs or what?
take away from the Eisenhower, listen to Dayton, the Eisenhower interstate system, which was developed by Dwight Eisenhower, named
Oh, was it? It was developed by Dwight Eisenhower.
to set up a system of highways around our country for national defense.
Oh, that's yeah, just to get tanks everywhere. And then these people fucked it up by driving on them. We should have a tank toll. If you're not driving a Hummer with a Trump flag and mounted 50 cal, you can't get on the freeway. These are not for cars. Stick to the side streets, you loser. You commie.
So they could move military troops and supplies. That's why you see
He's just always making little cues in the air. I don't know where the fuck he is. But they paid him to be there. They paid this dude to show up in this room and talk to these ladies, and they all want to hear what he has to say, and they're all pissed.
be a long straightaway in Macon up at Bass Road. And some of my friends and I used to go out in high school when we drag raced down there. We used to run faster for a mile. The statute of limitations is over, so it's okay for me to tell you that. And they actually did it so they could land planes.
So he's just letting you know that he's the villain from American Graffiti.
I would say look into all of these issues. It's your
Yeah. Don't just look into child sex trafficking. Don't bog yourself down with that. Also, try to stop interstates. Honest to God, I was not expecting this. I was not expecting a wholesale attack on traffic. This is fucking brutal. I just wish they would cut to that blonde lady and play the Curb Your Enthusiasm scene every time he picks another weird cul-de-sac bullshit argument.
It's your county, it's your Myrtle Beach, and you have the right as the citizens and the people of this community to decide what you want and what you don't want. Which is why...
Well, I mean, you have a vote, but, you know, the majority of the people in your area, including the majority of the people in that room who have businesses themselves, their husbands have businesses, their children have businesses, are going to look at the I-75 expansion and go, oh, it's going to come down here and we'll get more business? Fuck yeah. How big does he think the anti-interstate vote is in this situation?
Running for chairman of the South Carolina Republican Party. Not because of
Look at her. She is fucking pissed. Look at her. She's livid. When is Trump coming back? That's what I paid my $8.75 for. And that dude is amazing. She's already checking the program. Who's next on this? This lady right here. Look at the Myrtle Beach Ladies Club or something. There's some pent up stuff going on here.
I know that you have facing you.
Oh, this is and it just jumped back. That was the end of it. They cut away when he. Okay, next one. Lin Wood, live from the Orange County Daughters of the Confederacy, something or other. I don't know what the hell. Oh, God.
It doesn't feel good for someone to tell you that your voice is not welcomed on this particular platform, or to tell you how many people can be at your church service, or to tell you what you have to wear, to tell you you have to put a mask on your face.
Well, you don't have to wear one the rest of your fucking life. You don't have to not gather in your church forever unless you die from COVID. Then you are forever masked by the top of your coffin or the urn they put you in. You are forever told what to wear because whatever they buried you in, that's your outfit. You are not going to church ever again because you will be with your heavenly Father and the Lord.
It's not healthy. To tell you that you gotta sit 6 feet apart doesn't feel good, does it?
No, it does not. It does not feel good. It feels very bad. When is Trump going to be president again? When is that away?
To tell you got to put a mask on your children to send them to school, I know that would not feel good.
Well, no, because you're worried about them and their health, and you're worried about them, although they might get a disease and survive it, they might have long-term effects that you don't know about yet. And of course, you don't want them to bring it home and kill anyone with a comorbidity or, someone who's elderly or their teacher and have that with them their entire life, because a child who goes, yeah, I'm the one who got grandma sick and she died and I lived with that from when I was 10 years old. Thanks,
What we're
John.
experiencing is, I think, a time period where we're going to wake up. You've heard it called the Great Awakening.
Oh, you're going to wake up, Nick. That's why you call it the Great Awakening. You're not calling it that because that's what Q called it, to put another hook in the lip of Christian fundamentalists. Sounds a lot like woke, buddy.
Wake up to realize that we've been asleep and we've let the media and other bad actors propagandize us.
Excuse me. I am a sensational actor.
Get us to where
No, I mean, I really am good. I'm really good at it. Yeah. I'm honest to God. Not a role I couldn't tackle. I'll make you cry. I'll make you laugh. Do the whole thing. No worries whatsoever. I'm a professional, goddammit. I'm a better actor than he is a lawyer. That's a low bar, but still.
didn't think for ourselves, but just believed what we saw on television, so that they could essentially take over our country and take away our freedom.
No. No one's taking away your freedom. Any more than if there's a shooter and they tell you to shelter in place, and if you walk through, the cops might think you're the shooter and kill you, or the shooter themselves might kill you if you just refuse to. But if you bring your family with you and get them shot too, because you're like, what shooter? That's your freedom is not being violated in that moment. Public health, public safety are normal aspects of society.
Where they could destroy our middle class, to have a ruling elite.
Bluetooth disconnected.
So
What? Who said what? What was that? I missed whatever that person said.
So when you look at what they're trying to do, the globalists and the communists, all assisted by
Hold on, back.
our country and take away our freedom, where they could destroy our middle class, to have a ruling elite.
Bluetooth disconnected.
It sounds like a recording going, your call, this has been disconnected.
So when you look at what they're trying to do, the globalists and the communists, all assisted by
Jews.
the deep state, that's the CIA and the FBI, and
Dude, don't quit that. You're messing with our tracking device. Get your finger out of your ear. This is how I'll always remember you, Lin Wood. Oh my God, I caught one of his ear boogers.
our people in the Justice Department.
Oh my, his Bluetooth disconnected? Yeah.
Somewhat similar to what Dwight Eisenhower warned about in his last speech before Kennedy became president. Same thing Abraham Lincoln warned about. Same thing that Donald Trump has warned about.
Oh. Golly. What did he warn about? Oh, if you give the military too much money during peacetime, it'll be,
The military-industrial complex. Chad was
Yeah, the best way to save yourself from the military-industrial complex is give the military the biggest equipment raise they've had in 4 decades. Give them, $2.5 trillion worth of extra shit over 10 years.
telling me just before we started that he had a friend that had been shot in Afghanistan. What are we doing in Afghanistan?
Well, I don't know. Why didn't Trump get us out? We're helping train them. We've got security forces protecting the people who are training the Afghans. And our numbers they were smaller when Trump came into office. They ballooned a little bit while he was there. Biden's getting them out. He sent in security forces to help them evac. That's basically where we are.
Our boys and girls, the young people go over to this faraway place for 20 years almost since 9/11. What are they doing there?
I already told you, Lynn. You know.
Why don't we let Afghanistan run Afghanistan the way they want to? And let America.
Yeah, why don't we just let Al Qaeda grow more terrorist cells so we can use them as a pretext to strafe bomb other countries in the future? I mean, why would you even want to?
The CIA that began a propaganda program in the 1950s called Operation Mockingbird.
Operation Mockingbird. Let's see. Hold on. Let me look that up real quick if I could. Yeah, that was a program started by Carly Simon and James Taylor. I'm looking it up right now. Project, here we go. CIA wiretapping operation introduced by John F. Kennedy. Let's see, in October 2001, the Miller Center of Public Affairs published transcripts of secretly recorded conversations in the Oval Office during the summer of '62 when Kennedy took steps using CIA to spy on Hanson Baldwin, the National Security Report for the New York Times. Baldwin had angered the president with an article that divulged classified information from a recent national intelligence estimate, including a comparison of the United States and Soviet Union's nuclear arsenals and the Soviets' efforts to protect their intercontinental ballistic missile sites. Knowledge of Project Mockingbird was made public in 2007 when the CIA declassified a 702-page document widely referred to as the Family Jewels. Document was compiled in response to May 1973. James Schlesinger asking CIA employees to report any past or present activities they thought might be inconsistent with the agency's charter. Project Mockingbird, a telephone intercept activity was conducted between 12 March 1963 and the 15th of June 1963, targeted two Washington-based newsmen who at the time had been publishing news articles based on and frequently quoting classified materials of this agency and others, including top secret intelligence. So we're talking about a CIA project that lasted about 4 months. Okay, just clarifying. Thanks. Sorry, back to you, Lin.
Discovered in 1974, the church committee hearings. They said, well, we won't do that again. No, that's not true. They just took it off the books and went undercover with it through many numbers of organizations where they still were propagandizing the American public.
Mockingbird wasn't a propagandist effort. It was an effort to stop journalists who had access to classified information and were publishing the number of missiles the United States had and where they were, and they considered that a national security threat. So this wasn't a propaganda. What?
The CIA is not allowed legally to operate in the United States, but it is everywhere.
Well, yeah, of course they dig the tunnels for the pedivores, right? Isn't that how it works? What does my cat shirt say? Oh, this is a Maneka Neko. It's a happy cat.
I've even had several people I found out that came to work at my property, CIA.
Oh my God. Oh my God, guys. CIA people are coming to work at Lin Wood's probably. The CIA is, I mean, they must be on hard times. They're firing people.
In schools, they're built into the federal bureaucracy. So the president can change. They don't, they're still there.
Huh? Was that the end of that one? Jesus Christ. He thought that was worth an actual cut? Oh, God. This is...
Mr. McKissick can write whatever he wants to. I know he's got some of his people here. Tell him I said this. He can write whatever he wants to about that.
All right. This is the challenging part. Can you say Dame Judi Dench at least 3 times in rapid succession? It's not a topic, but just try. Dame Judi Dench, Dame Judi Dench, Dame Judi Dench. Yeah.
He can tell every lie that he wants to tell.
Uh-oh, they turned the lights out on him. That's the night that the lights went out on Lin Wood.
I convinced the people of this community and this state that somehow I'm not mentally well. Let him tell those lies.
Oh, this is because the thing coming out that they wanted him to take, his old law firm was insisting he take a mental health examination. And he said it was a violation of his privacy that it was either that people reported on it, but he was the one who told people.
But you tell him one thing.
Let's see, here you go. Wrong. Okay, hold on. Somebody's saying in here. Operation Mockingbird recruited leading American journalists into propaganda influence operations. A front group, CIA supported front groups exposed in 1967, Ramparts magazine. He didn't say Operation Mockingbird. He said Project Mockingbird. If it's Operation Mockingbird then that you're talking about, that's fine. He said Project Mockingbird.
Truth does not change. Truth is incontrovertible.
Truth does not change. Truth is incontrovertible. Okay, all right.
And we can keep telling those lies, just like whoever's playing president can tell you lies, just like the propaganda media can tell you lies,
just like you can tell these folks lies, just like you're a liar and you make your living being a liar. Yeah, and
a lot of politicians can hide what they're really doing with your money and they're doing in their spare time, but what I know is what God Almighty told me.
Amen.
God Almighty has told you nothing, sir. What you are about to engage in is commonly referred to as blasphemy, and you are lying.
Every lie will be revealed. Watch it happen.
Every lie will be revealed. Watch it happen. Was that a direct quote?
Every lie will be revealed. God is truth, and truth is God. And you can't change the truth.
I thought we couldn't handle the truth. I guess both, probably both.
Look at what they did to Jesus. He had the masses following him. He threatened the political power of the Philistines.
I will say, for a man who thinks the end is coming, he's eating well.
The Roman Empire.
Yeah, he's a finger wagger. It's true.
What did they do?
Is it just me, Howler's Wood, just talking to hear his own voice? Yeah. I think that's. I mean, I'll tell you why he's talking. You want to know why Lin Wood is talking? Because Lin Wood is being paid to talk, and he has to talk for a certain amount of time per his contract. And so he will talk until that clock is up, and the minute it's done, he'll say amen and walk off.
Pretty limited. He's not pretty.
No, Lin Wood cannot handle the truth.
They did what Mr. McKissick's supporters are trying to do to me. They lied about him. They went out and whipped up a frenzy with their agenda to...
Oh my God, this is just him bitching about his law firm. This is what you want to hear. All these women paid to hear this asshole tell them that Trump is still president. He's going to come back in August or October or some shit, or be their Christmas present. And that's the entire purpose of his speech. And he is eating up time bitching about his law firm making him take a mental health exam because he told them he was Christ.
Their power by lying and saying that Jesus was guilty of blasphemy. And in getting the crowd whipped up in the frenzy of the lie.
He's riffing here. This is not... There's like, you can see like 4 thoughts floating around, and he's just trying to connect them because they sound good.
The people forgot about the body of Jesus' life's work. He had healed.
Yeah, he was a hell of a carpenter on top of everything. I mean, he makes you a bench, it stays a bench.
Documented fact. John said he performed so many miracles, there wasn't enough parchment to write them in the Bible. But they got the masses.
That's why they had to wait 70 years. That's why the Gospels were written 70 years after Christ had died, because they were waiting for more parchment. It was backed up. It was on the Evergreen. It was in the Suez Canal. It was stuck.
Whipped up in the frenzy of the lie. Send that to Mr. McKissick. I'm not happy with that fellow. They got him whipped up in the frenzy of the lie. They forgot about the body of Jesus' life's work, and they yelled, "He's crazy. He's guilty. Kill him."
No. the body of his life. They didn't forget about the body of his life work. They didn't buy it. He was saying it was the Messiah. They didn't believe the Messiah had come back yet, and they also believed that the elders and leaders of the church would know and they'd be first informed. So that they killed him because they didn't agree he was the Messiah. That's why they let the wrong. What? This isn't even debatable if you've actually read the Bible. The fuck kind of Cliff Notes bullshit is this?
And they killed the Son of God. Do not be fooled.
They didn't kill the Son of God. Crucifixion was part of his mission on earth. There is no Jesus without Judas. Judas is the best apostle. Do you understand that if you believe the Christian story, if you are a Christian, that there is no Christ without crucifixion, and there is no crucifixion without Judas. Therefore, Judas is the most beloved. Just throwing that out there. The ignoramuses, don't point at me with that finger, mister. Help. Home, home, eaty. All right.
By the attacks on the messenger. Focus on the truth of the message. Because even though they killed the messenger, the joke was on the devil because the messenger was God.
They didn't kill him because of his message. They killed him because he claimed to be the Messiah. And they didn't. They thought they would know who the Messiah was.
Jesus was man and Jesus was God.
All right. The whole point of Jesus was being born was to die for our sins. He had to die to be Jesus. Exactly, Rob. That's the whole point. If I was there, I'd have stopped the crucifixion for my Lord. Well, then you would have interfered with his mission on earth. Oh, this is okay. That's the end of that video. Okay, one more. I can't take much more of this dickhead. And I keep having to look at this lady's part. All right, she was napping right up until showtime. This lady right here. You need to run a brush through that baby, because everybody's going to get a little crown swirl. Well, I got long hair. I know. I got to get that brushed out. Otherwise, it gets all mashed up, and you can see my scalp. My hair's dark. I get it. It's okay.
Amen.
And the prayers have increased in number and intensity and in frequency.
Well, that shouldn't matter. How about in integrity?
God hears those prayers. So you're going to circle along with me the walls of Jericho, and then at the right time, the trumpeter's going to sound. God's going to tear the walls down, and we're going to take our country back again.
Well, I think you're going to upset the build the wall crowd with that kind of talk.
God is happening. And it's going to happen. God hasn't given up on America yet, and He hasn't given up on His world. You don't get a lot of it in the mainstream media, the propaganda media, but if you get to where you find truth tellers, look at what's happening around the world. The people are rising up. We're going to have...
Yeah, people have never risen up before in the world. We've never had uprisings.
Reset. Except it's not going to flip in George Soros' direction. It's going to flip the switch. George
Soros. What? Like, he name-checked Super Jew in video number 4. I mean, you could have spotted it.
We're going to reset this world back in the direction of Almighty God.
What a flim-flam artist. And by the way, may I end this little segment on our beloved Lin Wood with, let's see, we'll find this one. Is it this one? Nope, that was the first one. Is it this one? Hold on. Yeah, so I thought I'd end on this one because this is how he ends it. Now, understand, this man has been talking to a room full of conservative women and a couple of men at their gathering about how Trump's going to take over again and that there's going to be a moral reckoning and that, it's a time where the Lord is going to cleanse the place. Just keep that in mind for this one.
Let's see what you're made of.
By the way, I love him snatching this mic from this woman. And that outfit, is she wearing It looks like a leather garbage bag. I don't understand. Like, she looks like she cut holes in a leather sack. Just saying, it looks like a fetish outfit. And this is him. This is Lin Wood's about to bring it home. This is the tail end of his thing. He posted this video. Yes, he's holding a beach ball with an American flag beach ball. No.
Okay. Let's see what you're made of.
And ladies, I don't want to hear one joke about me throwing these balls out, okay?
And ladies, I don't want to hear one joke about him throwing these balls out here. And there you have it. And hi, Rob. Welcome back. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, Rob's always lying. He's always listening. But, you know, he's a busy man. This fucking creep. He's just trying to pick out which one in the crowd he's going to throw his lanyard to this time. Jesus. I know. And if he was doing this and he was running around the country like Giuliani, I mean, it would be gross, but it wouldn't be that big a deal. But he just spent half of his speech talking about the Lord's going to have a reckoning, and we're surrounded by evil, and then he ends on a I'm throwing one ball. Apparently, I guess it's a Hitler thing. Throwing one ball out into the crowd. Oh my God! Oh, he's got a second one. There's some real athleticism here. The speech was good, but once he started throwing his balls out in the crowd, these ladies went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I'm gonna tell you what. By the way, there is no way Karen LaKaren is not in that crowd. Oh, this is him. Wait.
No, you shouldn't.
He's picking out which ones he wants to knock boots with from the crowd using these balls. Like the lanyards didn't work. Is this the last one? Let me give it to. I'm gonna walk it over to. This is like a Nickelback concert, and they whipped out the T-shirt cannon. Oh yeah, Betty Loco. This is a room full of. This is a murder of Karens. This is a gaggle of Karens. Look at this creep. Look at that. How about I give you a little kiss? I'm gonna give you might and look at these ladies. Like, oh my God, you kissed Lin Wood. I did. I'm not afraid of whatever. It's funny, you know. He hasn't got anything that I've already not caught. Yeah. Oh, he gave it to her. He just handed it to the chick that kissed him. This is so fucking gross. Oh, fucking she just straight up Jordaned it. Oh, she had it, and then somebody else tipped it out. That's good. And look at the one, the silver jacket got it for the 3-pointer at the buzzer. Geriatric. She's like, and and I didn't get one? Is it because I look like Randy Quaid? Sorry. Oh, good Lord. So, and this dude is on a tour. Like, say what you will about Matt Gaetz and that bullshit that they were pulling. Where they're like, we're going on tour. Where are you going next? Well, we don't really have any place. We're just, we're here. We're taking this all over the place. And then they didn't go anywhere. Yeah, somebody underpunched it. Yeah. Oh, God. He's just rolling around like a low-res Elvis, knocking boots with blue hairs. God damn. Thank you, Benny Logo.